IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with small businesses. Did you know that small businesses sometimes rely on the barter system for exchanging goods and services? And this is done to maintain the cash flow of a business. For most businesses, cash is the lifeline. It is the blood that keeps the business alive. So in order to maintain a good cash level, sometimes the barter system is used. And this is especially prominent if you are a social media influencer. There are so many brands who are willing to send you products for your service of posting and talking about them. No money is exchanged. And this way, the brand has not affected its cash flow and the influencer has received something in return. What I didn't know and found interesting is that there is an actual barter exchange, just like we have the stock exchange. The idea is to identify what is the fair value of a good or service. And in the US, this sets the price for what we call barter dollars, very similar to actual dollars. What I found the most interesting is that legally, these barter transactions are taxed in the same way that an actual transaction would be taxed. The tax is decided on the fair exchange value. Our world is so money and cash dominated that when we think of value, we automatically think of a rupee or a dollar or a currency figure. For example, we see the value of a Netflix subscription at 199 rupees a month, and we see that as the price we pay for the subscription. However, this is just a very small part of the story. The true price of the Netflix subscription is the rupee value, plus the time you spent watching it, plus the cost of staying awake all night, plus the cost of not waking up in the morning to exercise, etc., etc. You see how these all add up? Now, what about things that don't have a price tag on them? Like a toxic relationship with a friend. The cost of that relationship is equal to the time wasted on the phone fighting, plus time wasted spent making up after that fight, plus the stress of dealing with someone like that, plus the bad health from all the cortisol in the body. This works in a very different way as well. We often search for homes in the suburbs far away from work because that is what we think we can afford. But the real cost of that is the rent you pay, plus 3 hours of travel time required to get to work, plus the lack of time spent with family and friends, etc. I once had a fitness trainer who stayed 2 hours from his clients. He never thought of calculating the time he spent and the amount of money he could have earned from just moving closer to his clients. For example, let's say he charged 500 rupees an hour. So that's 2000 rupees he would have earned from 4 hours of not traveling up and down. Over 25 days, that would be 50,000 rupees, which would easily cover the cost of the rent. See, the point of all these examples is that we often don't look beyond the currency cost of things. We see a free thing and think it really is free. But the truth is that you pay for it in different ways. So your simple habit starts by understanding that the price of something is what you are willing to exchange for it. What are you willing to exchange for something? Your peace of mind? Your time? Your energy? Remember, even things that come for free, you're still exchanging something for. Now, anytime you make a decision, evaluate what are you going to exchange for it and then decide. Look at all the aspects before deciding. This simple habit makes a big difference in the way you will live your life. Usually in a podcast, it's me who speaks to you and you who listens. But I've been seeing your comments and it's time. It's me listening to you. Following the overwhelming success of this podcast, the good folks at IVM Podcast Network have decided to come up with a Kannada adaptation of the show for those who prefer listening to it in that language. Do make sure you let your Kannada speaking friends know about this as well. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome 180.
Hey everybody, it's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. Khel Niti completes 200 episodes. Rajiv Mishra, Nikhil Chopra and Rajkumar Sharma discuss the final test match between India and South Africa. They also talk about whether or not Virat will return as captain. On Think Fast, Varun and Suchita dig into Apple's $3 trillion market cap and Bezos' Chirag Din uncle look for New Year's Eve. On Raw and Organic, Kunal talks to pole fitness trainer and flexibility coach Joanna Michelle. On Pesa Vesa, Anupam finds out how REITs are beneficial from Vinod Rohira. He's the CEO of Mindspace Business Park REIT. And on Filter Coffee, Karthik talks to sports journalist Pradeep Magazine about his new book, Not Just Cricket. Do follow us on social media. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. And remember, if you're enjoying this show or any of our other shows for that matter, please do tell a friend. We really do appreciate the word of mouth. Also, don't forget to rate us on any of the platforms that you're listening to us on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever it is. And we are also on YouTube. On YouTube, you can check out our various channels on ivmpodcast.com/YouTube. And finally, we'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Bank of Baroda and CoinSwitch Kuber. Thank you for making this possible.
Do you wonder why China does the things that it does? Or want to know how we could improve online privacy? Or perhaps you're thinking about how we can kickstart India's economy. If you'd like to search for the answers to such questions, check out All Things Policy, a daily public policy podcast that covers everything from employment figures to aircraft carriers. Tune in from Monday to Friday for new episodes and fresh takes.